friends. Hope you're doing well. Today we're talking about mentors. Do you have a mentor? Have you had a mentor? What have you learned from them? Etc. And I'll tell you a little bit about the people that I currently find as my digital mentors and one real life mentor. Stick around. Theme song. I hate YouTube theme songs. I hate it when YouTubers have theme songs. Theme song. So, question of the day for you. Do you have a mentor? And by mentor, I mean somebody who kind of like takes you under their wing and teaches you stuff, I guess. It's kind of a weird, I don't know what the actual definition of a mentor is. I'm going to have to search that here. Let me define mentor. Click. A mentor is an experienced or trusted advisor. Do you have one of those? Is there somebody in your life that fills that role for you? And, they don't necessarily have to be a person in real life. They could be a digital avatar of a mentor, I suppose. So, I was thinking about this earlier, and I was talking to my girlfriend, and I was like, do you have any mentors? Because, I feel like, I don't know if that's a thing that's not as common as it used to be. I had a lot of mentors growing up, from hockey coaches to bosses to people higher than me on film sets, people more experienced than me on film sets, and now, I kind of have one or two sort of mentors. My friend Django, for sure, he taught me like everything about doing video stuff. Like, I wouldn't have this life if it wasn't for Django. And I've known him for, probably like 11 years now, more than 11 years, 12 years. Yeah, anyway. But then also I have a lot of digital mentors, people that I sort of look up to, and am influenced by pretty greatly. I'm trying to decide, how does somebody go about finding a mentor and then, maybe crystallizing the things that you've been taught by them? Because, I think about that with, especially a lot of the sort of digital avatar mentors that I have, that they're just, it's like they have so much wisdom, so much good advice. I'm like, man, I should maybe try to distill some of this down. Also, before I get too far, I have this thing and I'm making noise with it, and you're just gonna deal with it because it's fun to play with. It's a little ratcheting bit driver. I got it on Amazon for $10, but it makes a fun noise. Sorry for derailing that. It goes with all these bits. It's part of my everyday carry kit now. I'll put a link in the description. Also, I'm double fisting today. Got water. And I've got my favorite Mountain Dew flavor. It's the Spark. Because Zevia's not giving me free Zevia. And I'm out of Zevia. I need to go get some more. But that's neither here nor there. So, I think about people that have greatly influenced my life, and you think about a lot of them are authors, some of them are video creators. So on the video creator front, which I think is a little more accessible, you have people like Bo Miles, who has a YouTube channel that's great, and kind of what I've learned from him is to kind of see things through a different light and kind of appreciate nature a lot more, but also kind of really inspired me to fix things more so than just buying for the longest time I was always like, that's broken, throw it away, get a new one. And now I'm like, can I fix things? And along with that, there's also three other guys. So Tom Sachs, who's an artist, who makes very practical art. Van Neistat, who's the brother of Casey Neistat, who also makes videos, who started making videos for Tom Sachs. So if you like Van Neistat stuff, go look at Tom Sachs stuff. It's almost the exact same because Van made most of it. And then Adam Savage, who I'm sure you know from Mythbusters, who has a great YouTube channel too. And so like between those four dudes, I'm getting really into tools, which that's part of the reason I showed you this. The other reason is just fun to make a noise with it. I know that it's on my desk. I'm gonna make noise with it. You're gonna be like, what the hell is making that noise? It's this thing. So those four dudes are like really, I feel like right now, like my focus is like buying tools, customizing a lot of stuff. I'm working on designing and building some shelving for this closet, which is like my gear closet. Because I have a lot of gear that I like don't use every day on shoots, but like I want to keep. So like teleprompter, I don't use that very often, but like when you need it, it's great to have. I have way too many monitors, which are nice when you're working with bigger crews. That way you don't have people like over your shoulder. Also, this monitor is, I mean, it's smaller than my cell phone, you know? It's like, yeah, it's probably half the size of my cell phone. It's like, if you're checking good focus, you want a big monitor. So I got a big monitor, I've got two smaller monitors, and then another monitor, and two of them are recorders, so you can record backup. And then just like a lot of odds and ends. You know, a gimbal that I almost never use, which I think I'm gonna sell. And you know, some other stuff, some cables and some pouches and bags, and kind of beside the point. I'm also trying to like put stuff into kits, like be more like this is this kit and it goes out with this stuff. And so that's an idea from Van Neistat and Casey Neistat and Tom Sachs. Van Neistat actually just released a video that's really good about organization. And then I guess Adam Savage also has a crazy organization. And yeah, so all that stuff is like really, that's right now, those are like the biggest influencers in my like day-to-day life and like what I'm kind of willing for, you know, what I'm trying to manifest in my environment. So that's one subset. So you know, that's something interesting I hadn't thought about, is like kind of grouping the mentors by like zones of life. Like I feel like those guys are, I don't know what to call it. It's like organization, it's getting stuff done, it's art, but it's practical. So it's like their art is logistics and practical use, for lack of a better term. So moving from that, there are a couple authors I like a lot for, I guess, I don't know what to call it, attitude, your work, your attitude, your mental, it's not quite personality, but it's in that ballpark. So you got Jocko Willink, who also has a podcast that's on YouTube, and you can watch his videos. Ryan Holiday, who's very on social media, so you can find him, and he makes a lot of videos, but like his books are so good. I think Austin Kleon kind of fits in that area. I had more. Who else is in that zone? Tim Ferriss, kind of. I read his book Tools of Titans. It's really good, but like I don't vibe as much with podcasters because podcasts are just like, they're too long, and my ADHD just like doesn't go with it. So who was the other? Oh, Brad Stolberg and Steve Magnus, who wrote a couple books on performance. I guess those guys are less about attitude and more about like things you could do to improve your performance. Their books are great too. So if you want some books, Jocko Willink, Ryan Holiday, Brad Stolberg, Steve Magnus, Austin Kleon, all great. So you put them in that kind of like work ethic, I guess. That's kind of what I've learned from them, is work ethic. And not that I haven't learned work ethic from, you know, Bo, who does like these crazy videos where he like walks to work even though he like lives 100 kilometers away or something, you know, just crazy like that. Or just, you know, the sheer just insanity of Tom Sachs. Like the type of, if you go look at Tom Sachs art, you'll understand, like, it takes a team of people to like will these things into existence through sheer man hours of like very repetitive tasks. So I mean, there's obviously work ethic there too, but like, I don't know, I feel like these guys are good examples of it, and these guys over here put words to it. So there's that. Oh man, I'm feeling super dehydrated today. I need more. I need bigger. Actually, Costco has this like crazy bazooka looking thing. I call it bazooka looking, and it's like a gallon of. And when I was at Costco last, I was like, I need this. And my girlfriend was like, no. And so now I think tomorrow I'm gonna go buy it because it makes me happy. And if dumb things make me happy, then they should. I'm gonna go get it. It's $30. Whatever. Anyway, so there's those guys, and then in the realm of like fitness, you know, there's Dan John, who is like the most wholesome fitness influencer in the world. He's like an older guy who's been he's like a strength coach for like decades. And like at the end of his old videos, it used to be like live, laugh, love, like floss your teeth, like get enough sleep, drink 8 glasses of water. It's just like very basic advice. And you're like, yeah, that's kind of neat. But his advice is just super good and like very from a place of experience, and like he's like the old guy at the gym that knows fucking everything. And then the other one is Mark Wildman, who he's got a really good YouTube channel on like functional training, so like kettlebell stuff, mace stuff, heavy club stuff, bodyweight stuff is good. It's good stuff. There's good, real good stuff in there. So you know, you've got people like that, and so it's like I look at that and I'm like, man, I have kind of a wide array of mentors, and I'm like, all these people like provide direct value into my life, even though they don't realize it. I mean, you know, they don't know who I am, but I'm getting a lot from them, and so I'm very gracious for that. And so I've been thinking about like how to put that into words I want to make a video about that. And this video is kind of more just kind of dumping my thoughts on the subject. But like, first of all, like, how do you find mentors, that can assist you, either directly or indirectly? Like, I've had mentors in real life, I've had digital mentors now. And then from that, also just like crystallizing what they tell you. How do you ingrain that in your being? And then I think from that, you also have how do you become that person for others? Whether it is you start a YouTube channel where you give advice and you talk and teach people stuff, or is it finding someone in real life, taking them under your wing and teaching them stuff? How do you become that person for others? And so I think there's a lot there, and I just don't know how to kind of chew it down. So I guess the question I have for everyone today is like, who are your mentors? How did you find them? I'm kind of in that research phase, like collecting little bits. And have you mentored somebody? And if so, also like what did you teach them? How did you find your mentee? And like also, what did you get out of it? There's a guy named Ken Shamrock. He's like a famous MMA fighter or wrestler or both, but Ryan Holiday writes about him in his book, is that he had a system where he would always have somebody better than him to learn from in combat training, somebody at his level to practice with, and somebody worse than him to teach. So he was always remembering the fundamentals and the basics. And I'm like, that's a really good system. It's kind of like the like watch one, do one, teach one. You know, if you think of it like a 3-point thing, is like you watch a video or you watch somebody do a thing, you do it yourself, and then you teach somebody else. And that's kind of like a 3-point, like a 3-leaf clover learning system that I think if you can, I think learning how to learn is super important. And if you could do that, that's really the skill that schools should be, that schools should be teaching, but they don't. They just like give you a bunch of trivia to learn. Don't get me started on the whole school system because it's broke. It's deeply broken. It needs to be reworked. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, school should be free," and I'm like, I think before you give colleges blank checks when they've already shown they have no fiduciary duty to their students, you need to blow up the college system. You need to blow up the high school system, because high school has, like, what I learned in college felt like more high school. Like, there was nothing in college that couldn't have been a high school class, with the exception of like the very highest level stuff that required a little bit of like building knowledge. But it's like I took 2 years of like algebra, anthropology, like stuff that had nothing to do with my major. So it's like college is a scam. Like A, but B, why would we give them blank checks? So yes, something needs to be done about student debt. Like, that's a very serious issue. But I don't think it's free college. I think it has more to do with putting caps on interest rates and restructuring that whole payment system, and then going back and fixing how colleges work. And then, if it's fixed, if you could get all that training, all that information, and then college maybe is a 2-year thing, because I don't need to be paying hundreds of dollars to learn algebra again for like the 3rd time. Like, that was ridiculous. So that's a little tangent. Anyway, but maybe you find some mentors in your professors. I don't know. It's that could be a thing. So anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope this video finds you well, and if not, well, I hope that turns around for you real soon. And if things aren't going well, then maybe it's time to find you a mentor and learn some new skills, learn some new things, all that good stuff. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.